Do you want to talk about why I was late a half an hour?
Sure, because we actually are late an hour and 10 minutes. But let's talk about the last half an hour.
First, we pushed it back because you were working out. Listen.
You wanted to, though. I was going to make it work.
I don't know what happened. I was not ready to wake up for this Pokemon thing. I was all ready to wake up whenever I wake up and just watch it, because I knew it would be short. And I'm not waking up at 9 o'clock for barely any news. But my body just woke myself up at 8:30, and I stayed up all the way until I set my alarm for 11:30. And then that's when I fell asleep, right as my alarm went off.
I woke up at 8 and said, oh, hell no. I went back to bed. But I will say, before we get into it, I think there was a ton of news in this thing. This was a really cool Pokemon Presents, I feel like. But before we get to that, why were you an extra half hour late?
So I was like, listen, I got to make coffee. I'm not awake right now to talk about Pokemon for an hour. And then in my rush, I made a grave error. I decided...
Why does it look like the doggo's fault, though?
I know, it does. So I keep my coffee, like, up above the cabinets, because there's not a lot of room. It's a New York City apartment, And for whatever reason today, I was in a rush, and I decided I could reach it without jumping, but I jumped for it, and I grabbed the cap and pulled, and I just ripped the whole thing down. It landed face down, beans everywhere. So
yeah, for audio listeners, that is the beaniest kitchen I've ever seen.
It was a full can of Brooklyn Roasting Company beans. And if the dog eats it, he's dead. They're not supposed to eat coffee. But he knows he's not supposed to eat it, so he's being good right now. It got everywhere. It got in all the cabinets, under everything. And coffee is a good roach magnet.
Oh,
so
really?
That's why I spent a really long time cleaning it up, making sure I got everything so that, I don't miss anything for later. Also, that was all my coffee. So what I did was I scraped it off the counter and put it right back in.
Hey, that's fair.
I'm an addict and I need my coffee.
It wouldn't have surprised me to see you scrape it off the floor and put it back in.
I didn't go that far.
Just wash it off. It's fine. So you didn't like the presents? Is that the vibe I was getting?
No, it was fine. I just know every time that they like drip feed us Pokemon information. What I've wanted to know is the multiplayer. I've been wondering about how the multiplayer
they went
works.
over that, and I love it.
No, they didn't. They talked about it for like 4 seconds, and we know no more than we already did.
I know a lot, so I'll tell you what I gathered from it.
You tell me then. You educate me.
Let's get to it, though. I do want to say that we have kind of done something weird here. So for listeners and watchers, we've come together for another emergency episode because we really liked what we did last time when a direct dropped. But this has happened again just after we filmed the next 2 episodes. So I don't know if you've thought about this yet, but by doing this, in the next episode that's going to end up going live that we recorded a few days ago, we spend a good 10 minutes discussing how the co-op is going to work in Pokemon, and now we kind of have the answers to everything that we were...
I thought that was a bonus episode.
Was it?
We spent a whole bonus episode talking about
either
Pokemon.
Viewers or Patreons are going to get very annoyed next week when we talk about something that we kind of have an answer for.
We argued with Jackson for like a whole bonus episode.
Well, Jackson and I were kind of on the same page with that.
No, Jackson flip-flopped like he always does. He started off with like some wacky idea, and then all of a sudden he was on the same team. He did a whole wacky, weird thing.
He does get my back. He
had my back by the end. We were all on the same page.
Wait,
we were just having a hard time talking about it.
I kind of, while we're here, I kind of just want to skip to it, honestly. Is that bad? Or should we start from the...
Who cares?
Let's start from the start.
Okay, fine.
Let's ramp up to it. So it is August 3rd today. We're already in August. I can't believe it. Summer's
Dude
almost
has
over.
the best fit I've ever seen in a Nintendo anything.
It's very nice. I do like his blazer. I'm also very jealous of his Pokemon and Pikachu collection behind him. He's got so many cool little Pikachus.
That's a Pokemon
Safari.
dress shirt. Too. Oh, I should have worn my Pokemon shirt. I have my
Is it a Pokemon
shirt.
dress shirt?
It
What
has
makes it
to be.
Pokemon?
They got little. The design has little Pokemon.
It's yellow and blue, but
I'm kind of just assuming that it is.
Well,
I'm pretty sure they always wear the Pokemon dress shirts.
It's very snazzy. He's wearing a Pokemon watch too. Did you catch that?
Dude, he is
Pokeball watch
out.
This man loves his Pokemon. Actually, the first thing I want to bring up is kind of a fun cameo they had right at the start here. Chris Brown.
They got him? That's crazy.
They got Chris Brown.
Problematic Chris Brown for the Pokemon Presents.
Company International Director Chris Brown is here. That's got to be tough having that name.
Yeah, I bet. That woke me up when I saw that. And then I immediately went right back to sleep because they were talking about some Pokemon League stuff.
Yeah, but I am jealous. It's like a giant gathering in UK where they're doing like battles and stuff, and I don't know, it looks like a good time. I will say that as a fellow Pokemon Go player, the image of Pokemon Go players coming together to battle each other on a competitive level is pretty funny. Because I don't know if you've played that game competitively or like battled, but it's literally, and I know there's more nuances to it, God, before I get roasted, but it is literally just tapping the screen really fast. Like that's the battles.
I haven't battled, I haven't did PvP, but I know it can't be much more than that from, taking down towers and stuff.
I mean, you still got to get like, high-level Pokemon, train them, whatever, level them up, and then you've got to like use the right Pokemon at the right times. I know there's strategy to it, but when you boil it down, it's a lot of two people going.
Yeah.
And for audio listeners, I was furiously pressing one button.
Doing something.
The merch though that I think the winners get, the champions get, this blazer.
I think I blacked out. I think I blacked out because that looks awesome.
That does look pretty sick. And there's also a trophy that like the winner gets. They revealed that here. See, you see that clip there of him? Did I go back too far? Let me see. Of him smashing the and those bags too. They get those bags and that blazer if they win.
Do they get like money? Because it is it's a competition. You're flying out there for it, like, hook them up.
I don't know. Okay, you ready? There. Look at him.
Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it.
Go.
Wow.
He's smashing that screen.
He's going to hurt that phone. He better have AppleCare.
Pokemon Unite is a really fun game that I kind of wish I had like stuck with and got competitive with it. Because that is actually a really great game competitively. They also revealed this trophy here, which that's got to be a sick collector's item right there. Look at that guy. Look at that guy.
That looks
really cool. But anyway, we're not there for that. That's UK. The Pokemon Go Fest stuff. I find kind of interesting because I still play the game.
Professor Willow got sucked into a wormhole.
Yeah, he did.
What's this storyline I know nothing about?
It's Pokemon Go, so it's not like,
Sounds
he just kind of left the game, and now there's a different robot lady in charge. But I don't know. I do like Pokemon Go, and Kim was saying she wants to go to the park and use that new incense to try and get the new bird legendaries. So, I mean, that's a little bit of fun for us, I guess. Then they showed this whole presents was really just to show off Scarlet and Violet at the end. Let's be real.
But they gotta do the whole shebang. They gotta show you everything they're working on.
But the Pokemon Unite stuff was pretty cool. It looks like they're doing a whole 1-year anniversary celebration. There's a new Pikachu mode where everything is Pikachu, and there's a giant Chunkachu in the middle of the map. Also some new characters like Buzzwole, which I didn't even know was a Pokemon.
I call him Buzzwole, but it's Buzzwole.
I know, but it's implying Buzzwole.
It's implied that he's
the dude is jacked.
Yeah.
It has a very large nose.
It's gonna be hard for me to break that diction.
Emphasis on the diction. This annoys me. Not overly, but I thought something was coming here on this next thing because there was a really sick little cutscene here of this snowy mountaintop, and I thought they were about to reveal another, probably like another Let's Go game or something like that, another remaster or remake of the previous games. But it was just a really nice cutscene for the already 3-year-old existing mobile game, The Masters X.
They do some cool stuff with Pokemon Masters. I played a little bit of it, and I actually kind of really liked it.
I am not implying it's a bad game. A lot of people really love it, but I have a pet peeve with mobile games getting these sick cinematic trailers. Why are you doing that?
I understand. I like Pokemon Masters because it's like almost a straight up Pokemon game for the phone. Because it's got like a campaign and you kind of just battle Pokemon, but really you're like using the trainers. You're not really using the Pokemon. So there's like a weird little workaround, but it's kind of just a Pokemon game. It
doesn't look too bad. I mean, I might even try it eventually, but just don't with the cutscenes. Just don't do that.
I'm with you on that. And then they did it again. and then
they kind of did. Pokemon Cafe Remix. I'm a little bit more unapologetic with this one. That game is not fun.
It doesn't look
it's obviously for children, which is fine. It's a little puzzle game, but they keep adding things to it, mostly characters, but the actual like base gameplay has been the same since launch, where you just drag your finger along the Pokemon faces to try and build combos. And that's fine.
It must be popular.
I mean, it's Pokemon. I mean, I think base level it's going to be popular if it's Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I'll say it's a very cute game. I love the characters. I love the animations and the art. Like, it's simple, but it's very cute. But it's just a very boring game.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look good. It doesn't even look like a good puzzle game.
It's
kind
not.
Just mix your hand around.
Yeah, and it's like you don't even have to get all of them. You just kind of got to get enough to get enough points to move on.
That's annoying. That's stupid.
And it's a kid's game.
Oh, I like these little outfits.
Yeah, then we got these weird little outfits, these little costumes,
just for no
cosplay
reason.
For literally no reason. I want to know where those costumes are going after this and how I can purchase one.
Those are expensive for sure.
You know, actually, fun side story that I don't know if we've ever told, but Kim used to work in a costume store back when she lived in Texas, and they made a lot of the costumes for a lot of things around America. She made all the Chuck E. Cheese costumes.
Oh my god.
The actual ones. She made all the M&M costumes, the big ones, the ones that are like in the M&M store. I think she even worked on some Jim Henson type stuff before when they like outsourced it.
So how do we get big mascot costumes of ourselves?
We ask him and her mom, who also worked there.
Oh my god.
To make them. I mean, it could be possible. They know how to do it.
Guys, there's a new Patreon goal. That's gonna be hot. That's gonna be sweaty.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't get them started because it'll happen. All right, so the rest of this event now, which is where we can really start breaking things down, was all focused. The last 10 minutes was focused on the new game, and I thought it showed a lot. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about. The first thing I'll say that I am noticing here is, and again, for a Switch game and a Pokemon game, it actually looks a lot better than I expected. Yeah. I think it's actually pretty nice looking even. I mean, we're...
compared to every other Pokemon game, but also, like, I'm you know, they're also picking some of the best looking stuff from the game, you know?
Yes.
So you got to look at the worst parts of this and be like, that's what the game's going to look like.
Yes, I agree with that. But I think it might look a little better than Arceus, which I didn't expect. I thought Arceus would be the better looking game. But looking at this, I think the colors...
I think they both look just as good. I think they look very similar.
I think for me in this, it's the more cartoonish colors that are popping, the saturation, the vibrancy, but also just seeing the more like the towns and the cities and the areas, and then the characters, I feel like it just all has a little bit more personality, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to like Arceus art style more.
Yeah, I'm liking the world and everything, but that's kind of what I'm realizing is the big update every time they make a new Pokemon game is like the world and the characters and they add Pokemon and that's it. They might make like one gameplay element change, and they did in this, and like that's it.
I disagree with this so much.
Okay.
So here, and we'll break them all down, but here are, off the top of my head, the things that they've clearly changed and grown from other previous titles. This is the first open world Pokemon game. They kind of showcased and highlighted that it doesn't seem like it's zone-based either. It really does. There's a term they use in here, and we have to play with the sound on to remember, but it seemed like they were trying to stress that this is one big open world, and you go town from town. Hence why the legendary Pokemon in this game, you seem to get really early on, because it's also your bike, your boat, and your air glider, which is, we could talk about that. It's interesting. They've added co-op multiplayer for up to 4 players. The battling now with multiplayer people isn't waiting for people to take their turn. It's all in real time. You can battle in your own time. Players can be...
This game's version of the Dynamax battles, which is like the weird crystal thing.
Yes.
That is real time.
That has real time battling, but that's new and definitely experimental, and I like that. I think there's a couple more things, but let's let it play out. Those are the biggest ones, obviously, and we can break them down more. Okay, so you want to talk about the Legendaries and how that's going to work?
Yeah, they look ridiculous.
They look ridiculous. Really weird. Every Pokemon game I've ever played, you get the Legendary near the tail end of the game. It's like the big thing you look forward to getting. The Pokemon on the box art, you typically spend the least amount of time with. But the 2 Pokemon on the box art for this game, the Legendaries, seem to be your mode of transportation within the game, so you have to get them pretty early.
So I don't want to jump ahead too much, but the biggest gameplay change that I see here is that they're allowing you to go between... They're allowing you to go to the gyms in whatever order you want.
That was another big one.
You could just go get the Legendary whenever you want, or they might give it to you just really early so you can traverse the land with it. So...
You are right as well, by the way. That is probably the 4th and another one of the biggest changes is... and I made a video about games that were inspired by Breath of the Wild, and people think I'm insane because they get confused and they think I'm trying to say that this game is ripping off Breath of the Wild. No, Breath of the Wild is extremely influential. It was very, very popular. One of the best-selling games of all time.
And it has every right to be.
And it highlighted this idea and this concept that, hey, games like this can work. Games where you are in complete control from the start with whatever order you want to do anything. And I think that inspired a lot of games. And seeing that success on the Switch, why wouldn't Pokemon want to be like, you know what? Why don't we just do that? Why don't we have it so you can battle the gyms in any order? And that's the feeling I'm getting from this. And I mean, just to say one more thing, all the previous trailers for Pokemon games since Legend of Zelda have felt like Legend of Zelda clone trailers. Like they keep lending heavy into these piano keys and these sweeping vistas over a cliff rock with the main character, seeing everything below. And this is another thing, again, that's going into a Breath of the Wild feeling Pokemon adventure.
I'm a little skeptical how the going between gyms is going to work because, like, what are they going to just be ambiguous levels? Are the levels going to scale with you? Like, how are you going to? How is it going to work? Are you going to go to like the last gym and not be able to do it because it's a level freaking 50 gym and you're a level 2? Like, what's going to happen?
That is a big question. I wish they had answered that because I think we talked about that with Scoot. And I think Scoot
he was
mentioned...
diehard on that it was going to be like you go to whatever gym you want because apparently there was a big leak that leaked a bunch of information. And I haven't looked at the leak, but I saw
Me either.
Some stuff on Twitter that said that this leak was proven a little bit right by this.
Scoot did say that in the leaks he read that it wasn't scaling, so the gyms are going to be a set difficulty, which.
That doesn't make any sense.
On paper, it doesn't, but I suppose it's more like you have the option. So if you want to go and grind wild Pokemon and level up in the wild or with trainers and get up to level 50 and then go to a level 50 gym, you have that option. But then eventually you are going to have to go back to that level 5 gym and absolutely demolish the person there. Like, there are definitely ways of getting to a point where you can beat a level 50 gym without going to all the other gyms in an open world game.
See, in a game like Breath of the Wild, there are things in the game that could be made easier if you have certain items and stuff. But it only makes them like a little easier. You know, it doesn't like it doesn't make the game like way too easy. But if you're going to a gym that's a level 2 and you're like a level 50, that's going to be really bizarre. And if you're going to a gym that's a level 50 and you're level 2, you're going to get frustrated and probably turn the game off.
Yeah, no, I could really see it going both ways. Because, I mean, there's also an argument to, like, I don't know if you've ever tried, but when I played Breath of the Wild last, I did try and do a straight to Ganon run. It's impossible. Yeah. Right. I don't know how anyone does that. You go in with no armor, you go in with no good weapons, like, you're severely, essentially underleveled, and it is impossible. Or improbable. Some people can obviously do it. I cannot. And that would be the same as going to a level 50 gym right from the start of the game.
But Breath of the Wild does a really good job of kind of leading you in directions that would make the game like a fun experience. And
I think the gyms are probably going to be set along a certain path to do a similar thing. To sort of imply that this is the first gym, this is the second gym, but if you want to skip this one, there isn't going to be a Snorlax blocking the road that you need to get a flute from the third gym for this time. You can just go to this one. Yeah,
there needs to be a lot of user experience stuff going on, like behind the scenes, to like guide the player to do it in a way that is like, I guess, suggested. But Pokemon's not very good at user experience without shoving things down your throat. So that's why I'm a little skeptical about it.
Maybe they took some leaves and peaches out of Breath of the Wild. I
would love that. In an ideal world, this game sounds incredible.
Yes. And the alternative here to the gym situation is obviously scaling levels. So depending what order you knock one down, all the rest become harder. You knock another one down, they become harder again.
Right.
I kind of like the idea of each gym being as difficult as it is. And it's up to me if I want to try and take down that really hard gym first. I mean, that's an accomplishment in a way, rather than being...
I also like that. That sounds good, but I would get frustrated if I go to like 3 gyms that are too hard for me. Like if I get lost and I just end up at a couple of gyms and I'm like, where's the one that I need to go to, you know? That's why I want like a little bit of a guide to where to go.
I think there will be. I mean, I think it'll be an open world, but it will obviously be open in like a direction.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that though. I'm also excited for the co-op thing because, it's funny. When I heard co-op, my first thought is like content. So like I'm gonna play this with Bob. I'm gonna play this with Scoop. But then I realized, Kim and I always buy both the Pokemon games and then play them next to each other. I can actually play this game with Kim.
Yeah.
And suddenly I got very excited for that. I might try and get her in on the streams too.
I'm still waiting for the multiplayer part where you can explain to me what we learned about multiplayer.
We're getting there. I'm not sure how you're confused. Maybe you'll pull this up on me.
I'm still thinking it's exactly how I explained it last time.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to go over that again for the people that haven't seen that, which is literally everyone. I find it interesting that the two main Pokemon, they both do the same things. These legendaries with the traversal, but one is like an actual motorbike and then has an actual glider and then actually is like a boat. It's all like mechanical. The other one has to put in the legwork. Like he's running, even though he's got like wheels, he's running and he's swimming and he's actually flying. I feel bad for that guy.
He's freaking exercising. The other one's lazy.
He's going for it. We got some new Pokemon. How do you feel about this little, what do they call it? Something doe. Dog doe or something.
This little sheep guy?
It's a doggy. It's the new dog Pokemon.
That's a dog?
Yeah. Dude, it's a little dog.
What dog is that?
It's made out of dough. His ears are like buns.
You can eat them?
I'm
getting hungry.
You can try it. People eat dog. I don't recommend it.
I need to somebody wake him up. I can't tell it's a dog.
He appears later. They give him a name and stuff, so we'll keep going. But he's very cute. I feel like they always do a cute little dog every generation. Turn this volume up a little bit. For audio listeners, we're currently watching to see if we missed anything.
Yeah, they're just showing like some of the trainers and stuff with some of the new characters.
I'm assuming this game does not have voice acting because they haven't mentioned it, but this little trailer here seems to make it seem like that guy is talking.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, that guy there. You know, that's every time there's a voice line, though, it cuts back to this guy. Like, it's implied in the trailer he is talking.
That would be incredible if there was even a second of voice acting in this game. That would be incredible. A major leap for Pokemon. I
don't think they've shown cutscenes of like characters talking yet. I mean, it's possible. I will say the voiceover here sucks. It's not a. I don't like the.
It sounds very clearly to me that this is just a guy who's translating from Japanese.
Yes. That's what it seems like. It seems like it's just a trailer voiceover. But the fact that it's always cutting back to this guy to imply he is talking does make me wonder if maybe just he is voice acted during like the intro or something. Because I don't know if you remember playing Sword or Shield, but the whole intro had a guy like this talking and setting up the story, but it was just empty text box, and it was like easily the most weirdest part of the game. Yeah. So maybe they voice over the start.
That would be great.
I like the character designs. This is a new Pokemon here as well. That weird little land shark thing.
Yeah, there's some cool characters in this, and yeah, the game looks great, like visually.
Okay, so this is the new gimmick this time. Right. I'll be honest. In Pokemon games, when a new one comes out and they have the new gimmick, I usually get a little frustrated just because I'm like, why is it a thing now? You know, like I get we're in another region, but you're telling me like for the last 20 years, this region's been Dynamaxing massive Pokemon and we didn't know.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just because it's the thing now and I'm used to it. I'm almost getting excited to see what the next gimmicky thing is.
Yeah.
And this one's not bad.
When Dynamaxing was a thing, I was like, that's so stupid. What, big Pokemon? That's it? And then I played it, and I was like, it's actually pretty fun.
It's pretty cool. It is. And then you've got the big Pokemon that turn big in different ways. They kind of have their own big evolutions. I think Pokemon now is out of control in general. I think the amount of different ways that you can, like, Dynamax, Mega Evolution, evolve to change forms and change types, and at this point, you're so far out of control. Why not just lean into it?
Yeah.
And this time we have these crystallized Pokemon that have another name. It's not that. And not only do they look like they're made out of gemstones, which I kind of love because it's so 90s.
For a second, I thought these were shinies. And
that would be so cool. But not only do they turn crystally, they sometimes look a little different. They have variations on them, but also they can change into different types. And it seems to be implied that different Pokemon that you find in the wild will have different crystal type evolutions. So like Eevee, for example, they showed it can be normal crystallized, water crystallized, or grass crystallized, depending on what type you catch. It will always be one of those. So that's kind of unique. Now you're catching a bunch of different Eevees to try and get a grass one or a water one.
I liked with Dynamaxing, there was like kind of a strategy to it. Like you could only do it for a certain amount of time, and you had to like kind of strategically pick when you were going to do it and stuff. I'm assuming this is like the same, but also now there's weird type changes.
Yeah, it does present interesting. Like if you say play an Eevee during a battle, and then the other trainer pulls out like a whatever type, and you're like, well, now I'm going to crystallize my Eevee and turn it into a leaf type without actually having to remove it and swap out the Pokemon. That could add an extra layer of strategy for sure. So yeah, I do get behind these weird and wackies they're doing now. All right, so that was a little trailer they gave, and then they started to break it down.
It just kind of looks like one giant wild area.
Yeah, and that's what I figured it would be, and I'm glad that it is. I was worried because if you think about Sword and Shield, you had 2 massive wild areas that were pretty barren. There was like a nursery, I think, in each, but then you had to leave those areas to enter the towns.
Yeah.
It really seems like they have slapped the towns bang in the middle of the wild areas. And that is what creates an open world. And you know what's funny is, you know, I'm very passionate about wanting this kind of Pokemon game. Between this and then the battle style of Arceus, I have my dream Pokemon game. I just need them to mishmash together at some point.
That's the thing. They're doing the Pokemon thing where they take like a very tiptoe forward. They're taking very small little things from these other games and putting a little bit at a time. So you're not going to get your dream Pokemon game for like 4 more Pokemon games.
Hey, as long as I'm alive when it happens. I do find it interesting that near the tail end of this trailer, and I'm paraphrasing, but the voiceover says, "We've kept in everything you love about Pokemon games while adding in like new features to evolve the franchise or evolve
How do they know
the
what I
series."
love? They don't know what I love.
True. But what I take out of that is just, yeah, we know we're changing some things. So you core fans that are so scared of these games ever evolving in any way, ironically, don't worry. The core formula is here. We're just experimenting with trying to evolve these games.
I really hope so. I hope that they do make some changes.
Yes. I've said this a bunch, and I feel like it's an obvious fact, but I feel like the reason why Pokemon games haven't been evolving or changing is because the fan base is so large and so passionate about a majority about it not changing. They don't want it to change. They want Pokemon games to be the way they've been. They're very happy with them, and it's what's making them successful. And I honestly think even more so than Game Freak not really knowing how to be innovative because they've never been given the chance, being too scared to innovate. And I think this is finally them breaking out of their shell a little bit, which I'm happy.
I think there's weird things that these core Pokemon fans don't want to change. They want certain things, but it's weird and wacky things that probably wouldn't work for like mainstream audiences. I feel like the ideal Pokemon game for a lot of these like very vocal diehard Pokemon fans isn't the same ideal Pokemon game for the casual Pokemon fan, which unfortunately makes up a majority of the sales.
You think? Yeah, you're right.
Casual, yeah.
I'm definitely in the casual. Like it's
well,
you're
on the upper echelon of the casual because you're in it. You know a lot about it and stuff. But like most of the people who are buying Pokemon games are like, oh, there's a Pokemon out. Let me pick it off the Target shelf and put it in my bag with my groceries.
Yeah. It's weird to call myself a casual, but I have to. I mean, I have played, I want to say, almost every single Pokemon game. I took a break somewhere in the 2000s because not only my age, but also I did get bored of Pokemon because it was the same. And I've come back over the last like 5, 6, 7 years into Pokemon. But I call myself casual even though I've played almost everything and I'm so passionate about it because the people that I'm talking about when I say diehards are the people that like love these games, that collect every Pokemon and IV train them and battle
like
them
competitively and stuff.
Can play competitively and like they can tell you like every Pokemon's type and effects and natures and all of that crap. I could care less about that. I just want to play Pokemon. You know, I just want to catch some shinies and have a nice time.
I'm much more casual than that because I haven't played all the Pokemon. I probably played less than half of the Pokemon games, but I'm probably still in an upper tier than most of the people who are buying these games because I'm watching these trailers. The people who are buying these games, most of them are not watching these trailers.
I agree. Just like Digimon. No one watched the trailers and then got upset.
Let's talk about that screenshot. That was not a good looking flower. That was right dead center.
I was going to actually mention, there was a screenshot I paused on a while back that looked horrible and I forgot to mention it. Brandon, if you could pull up when I paused on like the grassy hill and it had some text, that looked so bad and we were stuck looking at that for a while.
Yeah. This is the not trailer anymore. This is the explanation. So I think they're going to use like some less savory screenshots.
I still think it looks good though. I also really like the Pokemon animations and designs.
I'll say best looking Pokemon game. I'll give it that.
Yeah, no, definitely. We're also working still in the realm of like there's a level of Game Freak not having experience in making games that look too good. But also, we're working in the realm of the Switch still. It's very outdated. I'm playing through Xenoblade right now, and I can tell Xenoblade is a great-looking game, but I'm having to tell that through the muddied glasses of the Switch and, like, 360p. Like, it hurts. It's hurting at this point. Especially when you try and do open world. That's even worse.
Okay, now we're looking at the legendaries. The lazy one and the I don't know.
Which one do you prefer?
I just like the animation of the one who's running and doing all this stuff.
He looks so cool the way he's like galloping along. Yeah. I love that he has wheels for no reason.
So is that Scarlet? That's Scarlet version.
Yeah, it would have to be. Scarlet is red.
I guess I'm getting Scarlet because that one just looks cooler.
I don't know how to say this, but you know how there's always two releases and there's always like the hard color and the light color?
No.
Well, like Scarlet is like red. It's like a harsh red. Right, and then Violet is like a light purple. Okay. And then like you have black and white, which is obviously black, and you have white. You have Sword and Shield. And even that, no, it's not colors. Sword is like the hard, like attacking, like aggressive color, the aggressive feeling one. And then the Shield is the more defensive feeling. I always lean to whatever. It's almost every time it's the one that's first. So if you have red and blue, I'm getting red. If you're getting this and that, I'm getting this. I don't know why.
I'm pretty much the same. I lean towards the first one. But it's not so much about the name or anything. I always try to look for which one has the best looking exclusive Pokemon.
I never care about that.
You just go for the name?
I literally just go for the name.
Oh, I try to look at the Pokemon and then go with which one has the cooler Pokemon. And it's almost always the first one. But, I mean, this one looks like it has the cooler Legendary. So I would go for
it. Even X and Y, I got X.
See, X, I think I got Y. I think that's the only one that I went the other way.
Wait. I think I might have too. Wait, was Y the one with the red big Pokemon that is like the shape of the Y? And then X was like the big celestial being with all the legs? I think it was.
Yes. Well, they're both like deer-looking things.
No, the Y is like it was like a bird almost. It was like an albatross looking thing. And I think you're right. That was the only time that I went for the second one because of the big red. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
It's like a bird thing.
You know, I don't remember now, but I'm pretty sure I went with Y.
Yeah, I went Y because the Y is red and the Pokemon is red, and then the light that time was the X, which was the light blue and then the reindeer looking thing.
I'm not too sure, but I think that in this game there was a whole area that was different in X and Y.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I think that's another reason why I got Y specifically, because there was like a specific area that was different.
I think that there has to be a psychological subconscious thing there for me where I just always gravitate towards, I don't know what it is. Kim is always the opposite too. She'll always get the other one. So it always works out well when we buy them together.
Well, yeah, that just makes sense for you guys.
But she would want that one too, I feel like.
I might be wrong about the different areas, but also there's like the mega versions. There was X and Y versions of the Pokemon, and I might have just liked the Y version of certain Pokemon. Oh,
I think because Y had the black Charizard, I'm pretty sure. Mega Evolution.
No, that was...
No, it didn't, actually. Yeah, you are right. Because that was the only thing I was jealous of in Kim's game, that she could get that. Yeah. All right, whatever. This ain't about X and Y.
I can't wait to go to college in a video game.
You get 2 different colleges depending on your game. I mean, who cares on that, really?
Oh, he's got a Pokemon belt.
So that's a nice big town that is probably filled with empty buildings that you can enter. Yep. But it looks pretty cool. It does look like right down the back here, there's probably like a Pokemon Center and a Pokemart. You probably can go into these lower buildings, actually.
I mean, it'll be like Sword and Shield. There was like a bunch of buildings in the towns. But you know, there wasn't a lot in them. You just walk in and there'd be a big fat guy there. Hey, how's it going? And then you leave.
Big fat guy. That's fine for Pokemon. I'm starting to get to a point now in games where, like, if you're gonna put a building there, let me go into it.
Yeah. Have a little bit of
inside.
detail in your game. Have a little bit of something for me to discover in the game.
Without saying anything about Xenoblade, the little towns you go to all have these tents and stuff. You can never go into any of them. And I'm like, I know what it looks like in there. It's a flat image. Like, it's nothing.
Paldea. I'll always forget how to say that. This is Spain, right? It's supposed to be Spain?
Yes. If you ever forget, just remember Fuecoco is the name of one of the Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Which is a fantastic name for a Pokemon.
There he is rolling into town on his friggin' dirt bike.
This screenshot right here, so for those listening, it's like the bike rolling along like a little desert area with like a little gas station looking thing coming up. This throws me back to Pokemon Colosseum vibes of driving around on the bike with the Espeon and the Umbreon. And I can't tell you how here for it I am. That's probably my favorite Pokemon game. And I'm just excited we're finally getting back to when Pokemon games were good. Colosseum.
Oh, God.
It was a great Pokemon game.
There you go. Right, no set path.
Yeah, they're talking about the no set path.
Also,
kind of
they're going to bring up that there's 3 different stories. So, this is the part about that. So, like...
I think I missed that. Tell me about that.
So, the one story is the 8 gyms.
Okay.
And then there's 2 other stories which they didn't talk about at all. And I think you can do any of them whenever you want. I guess you can progress in those 3 different stories however which way you want.
I don't know how you can sit there bold-faced and look me in the eyes and tell me this isn't drastically different to every other Pokemon game.
I'm skeptical that it's gonna be like any crazy thing. I'm a little worried.
I think they're showing us it though.
I'm a little worried that one of those paths is going to be the only thing you can do co-op.
I don't think so.
I'm a little worried about that.
That is that.
But also, we don't know what those other 2 freaking paths are. We don't know. We know nothing about it.
I don't feel like this is a Digimon Survive situation. I think they're being very upfront with what the game is. And I think we're seeing what the game is.
It could be 8 gyms, and that's one story. It could be like the Team Rocket like storyline. That's another story. It could be then like the freaking DLC path in like freaking Sword and Shield. Then that could be another story. Like these, I don't think it's going to be anything like groundbreaking. I think it's going to be things that are in normal Pokemon games. You could just kind of do them all in any order. But
imagine like you like go through the Team Rocket path and the other path, and your Pokemon get all leveled up, and then you're like, okay, gym time, and you like hit that like 8th gym first, and you're like, yeah, I just beat the head of Team Rocket. This is nothing. I
don't know how fun that would be.
Gonna find out.
I want a little resistance, you know.
I mean, it is still Pokemon. I don't remember Sword and Shield being that difficult.
No, it really wasn't.
All right, they're talking about a cast of characters. We can skip past this. I don't care. Although
there's some really cool characters.
Penny's a vibe. Penny is a vibe. But maybe I shouldn't skip over it. I like the look of Penny with the little Eevee backpack. I think the next character too, I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's cute with like the scarf.
That is a dude.
Scarf.
They go by he.
Oh. Well, then I apologize.
That dude's cool.
That dude is cool.
Grusha.
Is it really? That's really cool.
It says it on the website somewhere. I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, that's interesting.
Apparently he's like really shy, and that's why he's got like the mask on and stuff, but then he like gets worked up and he might like do a different form or something.
Throws the scarf away.
Yeah, he might get like weird and wild.
Love that. Okay, the Pokemon. Kim's favorite. Growlithe and Arcanine. I love the... I mean, this must be a cutscene, right? But like, I love the animation on this little pine cone in the tree. Okay, now, so...
what's he doing, Brown?
Okay, so you know how every region, they like take some of the classics and they like mess them around? So he's a poison type now. and he's brown. This little whooper. Someone pointed out that because he's a poison type, his head and these little bone things is like a skull and crossbones, like he's poisonous.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I saw that on Twitter today.
Big Whooper fan.
Yes, he's very cute. He also kind of looks like a turd now, but he's very cute.
Oh yeah, look at all of them.
I know.
Oh, okay. I like these guys. I like these dogs now. I like them now. Look at them trying with their little feet.
I was surprised you were being so harsh on him. They're so cute.
They look like lambs here.
They are not even trying anymore.
Fido, I get it.
Fido, like the classic dog name, but with a UGH on the end because he's made of bread. God. Fido. I love it.
So cute, you want to like a dog. So cute, you want to eat them. I would kill these dogs in my mouth.
I would bake these doggos. They are. I love that it's phoned in, but at the same time, they're not even trying anymore.
I mean, Pokemon designs have always been phoned in. Every generation has had Pokemon designs real, but that's what's good. I like that. I like things we can like understand the design concept. You know, something so simple that you could see where they were coming from.
You know, like there's a channel on YouTube called Lockstin, but there's a bunch of channels that like break down how Pokemon got their like shapes and their designs and their names. I would love a whole episode on Fido.
There's literally in Gen 1, there's a Pokemon that's a ball. Like they really have always been doing stupid stuff.
This one I kind of like because it's very Digimon-y. It's very like that's a digital monster kind of Pokemon feel. You can't really pinpoint what it is. It's like a bunch of different things, but I kind of like that. You know, kind of looks like a little guy. I'll be interested to see what he turns into. He looks like a spiky land whale fish thing.
Little guy, just a little guy.
A little guy.
And then the boys.
The boys, the Fue Coco,
the crew.
What are you picking?
I think it might. So I always pick
a right answer.
I always pick based on what the final evolutions are because that's where you're going to spend most of your time. So, and they don't ever release that information until like right before the game comes out. So I am not going to pick yet. But if I had to pick one based on this, I'm going to pick Sprigato.
Oh my god, twins!
I'm not even a cat guy. And grass type, that's like, you know, not, I don't like grass type, but all these other Pokemon look stupid.
I actually, and I've talked about this already, I think this is the best starting lineup we have had since the originals. That's my honest opinion. I think Fue Coco is an absolute adorable beast of a little guy. He's a dinosaur apple. Like I don't know how you could not love that. The duck is the weakest one, but is resonating with a lot of people. So I think it's just an opinion thing. But I mean, he is kind of just a duck with Trump hair, which I can't help but not see. but the freaking cat, man, it's like a little grass cat. And honestly, for me, it doesn't. I usually agree with you. I will pick the one with the cool evolution at the end. It doesn't matter. Like this cat could have like the worst looking thing in the world. I'm picking the cat. I just hope, and Kim hopes, that they don't make them, what's the word, bipedal?
Yeah, that's a thing a lot of people are talking about with Pokemon now. Like they don't like when they take a quadruped.
Yes.
They don't like when they take an animal that walks on all fours and all of a sudden make them stand upright and act like a human.
The reason why we don't like it is because that has been the trend of all of them. Yeah. Like all the starting Pokemon that have 4 legs, like whatever you said, quadruped, they always end up standing up and becoming a humanoid. Like just keep it as a cat. Keep it as a really cool cat. One of the coolest evolutions from the original series is like Growlithe turning into Arcanine. Or like Vulpix turning into Ninetales. Yeah. Give me a Ninetales of Sprigato and it would be sick. If you make it stand up and hold like a little stupid grass sword or something, I'm going to be so annoyed. I'm going
to agree with you that I think that, most of the starters have been a little whack. I mean, if you include all of them together. I kind of like Sword and Shield's starters. I think
they're not bad. I didn't like the bunny, and a lot of people loved it, but I thought the bunny The bunny looks like a Mickey Mouse Looney Tunes character. I just couldn't.
Like Bubsy. I named him Bubsy in my game.
It looks out of place to me. It doesn't look like a Pokemon. It looks like it's like a collaboration with Looney Tunes. I don't know. I just can't not see it.
I also really liked the owl. Rowlet.
The owl is dope. Yes. And Litten was cute, but not like my favorite.
And he stands upright at the end, so.
He stands upright. I like
Poplio? Whatever his name is.
I didn't like him.
Absolutely
he sucks.
Trash
he
guy.
sucks. For me, it's the original 3, of course, because I'm old. After that, it's the Chimchar, Turtwig, and Piplup. I think those are really nice together. And then I think that this 3 is probably my favorite after that. Maybe even my favorite before that.
Yeah, they are, in the grand scheme of things, they're pretty nice. I'll concede.
I think they're starting to... I mean, they've been ramping up to this for a while where they try and make like the new cute Pokemon. But I feel like it's getting... Every generation, they have more and more of them. Like last time we had Morkipo, which was clearly an attempt at that. We had a little doggo. We had another new little cat, I think. I'm struggling to remember. This time we have another new little doggo. We have a little cat again. And there's so many new little mascots that I'm falling in love with.
Sprigatito?
Sprigatito. Oh, what? I also like...
That's so different than what I thought the pronunciation was.
What did you think it was?
Sprigato.
Sprigatito.
Sprigatito.
Yeah, you were nowhere near.
That's wild.
I think I copied you too when I said it.
I was on another planet.
This
Sprigato,
is interesting.
like an affogato?
It's not a coffee. It's a grass cat. It's the other kind of drug. Mm-hmm. The way that Pokemon get registered now is really nice. I like this. Visually, it kind of looks like it was mocked up in Microsoft Word.
Man, if I frickin' every time I see a Pokemon, it goes through this whole animation, I'm gonna throw the game in the trash.
Haven't they all done that? Okay, we're at the moment of truth here.
All right, it took us almost an hour.
We're gonna play the audio of this. We're gonna listen to it, and then we're gonna break it down. Even more fun with multiplayer.
And that's it.
What are you confused?
That's what we knew about already. We knew that. We knew that. And they didn't add anything else.
Okay, here is where I remember you being confused.
And I'm still confused.
Okay, actually, I guess there is a level that you were also confused on. The main thing I think this answered for us is you didn't know, or we couldn't pinpoint how the multiplayer worked as far as joining a game. And I feel like that's been answered.
No. We knew you go to this little gas station thing, and that's where you meet your friends. Mm-hmm. And then they're just in your world.
Yeah.
And we knew that. And then and then this just reiterated that.
Okay, well, you were kind of you seem to be arguing that you didn't know if the people were joining your game or if it was all like an online thing.
We still don't know that.
Yeah, we do. We just saw.
No,
it.
You think that they're joining your game, and I think that everybody has a shared world, like a Destiny type thing. Except you don't see random people. You only see people in your party.
I think that's asking way too much for Pokemon and Game Freak.
I don't think it is, because I don't think you're going to be able to do a lot of shit when you're together. Because they said discover new Pokemon together, and that's it. You'll probably see Pokemon in the world, listen to that again. And that's it.
Let's hit me with that one more time.
Union Circle.
That wording is actually very interesting. You can go looking for Pokemon you haven't yet discovered. So you can't look for Pokemon that you've already found?
I don't know about that. I think that's just a weird word. My interpretation of this is it's going to be exactly like the wild area, except you have some people with you. You'll be able to see Pokemon in the overworld, even though we don't see any, which is a little scary.
That is also really weird. They didn't show any of that.
That's a little weird.
In fact, now you mention it, there's no Pokemon in any of the screenshots of the friends hanging out.
That's really bizarre.
That's weird. I didn't catch that.
I assumed you'd be able... I mean, they say Pokemon you haven't yet discovered, so I assume there's going to be Pokemon in the overworld. And that's just them showing off their own Pokemon. But
yeah, there was like 4 or 5 different locations without a bird in the sky or a cat in the grass.
That could also be just a thing where like there's too many assets on screen, and in this pre-build state, it could break the game. So like maybe this is just a trailer thing. And because that would be really, really weird if when you join up with friends, all of a sudden there's no Pokemon in the overworld. That would ruin the game if you're playing with friends.
I feel like, though, that's something you'd really want to highlight in this is like how do you interact with them? You would kind of want, from a storytelling standpoint, to see like a Pikachu in the wild and then cut to like 4 friends sneaking up on it, which kind of...
That's my whole argument. Is that we don't know how that interaction is going to happen. And
if you swung me around on this now I'm worried.
So my whole theory, I'll say this again, is that you join up with your friends. It's you're all playing your own game. You just see the other guys in your world, and I thought you'd be able to see the overworld Pokemon, but maybe it won't be shared. Maybe you'll see a shiny Pikachu and I won't. Because they'll only be in your instance. Because how are you both going to capture the same Pokemon?
I think you have
to fight them. You both have to fight.
Some valid concerns here now. They only showed fighting with friends in the dungeons too, which is obviously easier to figure out.
That's what I think. It's going to be exactly like Sword and Shield, where you can only do things with your friends in certain instances, and one of those instances is going to be the crystallized Pokemon thing, like Dynamaxing. It's going to be exactly the wild area, but you can see your friends in the world, and that's really
I see your concern, and now I'm also worried. The one thing I'll say in its favor is that they didn't, in the last game, they didn't do a whole like highlight of like play with friends, multiplayer, co-op, invite them into your world. They didn't focus on that. So if this is just that again, it's really weird for them to pick that out and highlight that.
Well, that's the thing, is that they're making it easier to play with friends. Because in the previous game, if you wanted to play, you had to like pick a code, and like, you know, like freaking you had to tell like somebody, you had to whisper somebody on Twitch. The code is Pikachu, Morpeko, you know, and then
true, but you also couldn't
join your game.
Like you couldn't physically get into each other's games either.
Yeah, you wouldn't see them in your world.
No, you could only do that to like get into the den raids and the battles. Yeah. You'd see them in the battle, but not in the world. The thing that's scaring me now is the fact that there is literally no Pokemon in any of these clips. And
I'm hoping it's a technical error. Like
well, they
it's
said
technical.
Catch Pokemon that you haven't caught before. So surely yes.
I mean, it might be the crystallized raids that you could only do with friends.
That is true, and
that
also
might be it.
Another thing to think about is even in Sword and Shield, you had the Pokemon walking around, but then you also did have the random RNG encounters in grass and stuff like that.
Right.
So maybe it's only for like grass encounters. Maybe they couldn't figure out getting them walking around the world the same time as like 4 friends. And maybe it was not even like taxing, but it was a matter of like them not figuring out how are all 4 people going to see the same Pokemon walking around the world. Well, let's just keep it to wild RNG in the grass encounter style stuff.
That's possible too. That's possible too.
Okay, now I am worried. It's way easier.
But also, yeah, it like if we're playing together, you might do a wild encounter and like find a shiny Pikachu, and I'll be like, "Oh man, where's mine?" You know, I don't think we're gonna have a shared experience capturing.
Yeah. Also,
Pokemon.
If I walk in the grass and I get a wild, what happens to the other 3 players? Are they gonna get dragged in, and we're all gonna gang up on this one little rat?
I literally think you're going to disappear. And we're all just going to be like, oh, good for you. You're in a battle right now.
I don't know about disappear, but I'll probably be standing there with like a little battle icon above my head or something. Just like in the grass.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? You're right. We didn't really learn anything, did we? I thought...
I have a lot more questions now.
Yeah. I watched... I have more questions now too. I hate you. When I watched this morning, I saw everyone join and I was like, got him. I knew they all joined your game. I knew it.
That didn't prove anything.
I think it did. For that element, to me, That's what I'm
I
getting out of
literally
it.
said you will go to the gas stations and join up with your friends. We still don't know what the instances are. My hope is that it's all your world. Everybody's in their own world. That way the progression doesn't change for your own game. Like, I'll be playing my game and you'll be playing your game. We'll just see each other in each other's worlds.
To me, it seemed like you were being invited into a world. And I know that is like not ideal, but I think that's the easiest. I mean, that's what like Far Cry and Ubisoft do for their co-op, is you can invite a friend into your game. It is your game. They don't share any of the progression. They get levels and they can take the levels back to their game.
That's a problem.
It's a problem, but it's Pokemon. And I figured that's the way that they would do it, is they would do it the easy way.
I think it's not that complicated to have a shared world, because it's not like it's running an instance on a server or something. I'm literally playing my game off of the cartridge or whatever. It's just that you are also there.
I'm not saying it's complicated. I'm saying it's Pokemon.
You said it was complicated. You said it would be easier to do it.
I think it's more complicated. I'm not saying it is complicated, period.
I think it's
but
complicated
to
understand. I don't think it's complicated to or it's complicated to explain. I don't think it's complicated to implement.
Okay, well, now I'm worried. But then moving on, we get the crystallized
so glad I
Pokemon.
could drag you down with me.
Yeah, you've won this. You've won this time. I mean, I don't know what to say. We already talked about this. I think it looks cool. It's called terraforming or Terra something.
It's a weird name. Tetra?
Yeah. Tetra? You'd think they would have called
it
like
4 times tonight.
You think they would have called it crystallizing or something, or crystal level, or crystal maxing?
Terra type. Oh, that's the type.
Yeah, they get different Terra types. But terrestrializing.
Okay, I will never ever remember that.
No, I won't either. That's dumb. It should be like Terra maxing or crystal maxing, crystallizationing. I don't know. Not whatever they said. I've already forgotten it.
What? Yeah, why is it terrorizing?
I've already forgotten. Legitimately, and we just said it a couple seconds ago.
Just auto-filled on Google.
Tetralizing?
Hold on. Tormenting or teasing with the sight or promise of something.
That's tantalizing, Bob. That is tantalizing.
No wonder it auto-filled on Google. It auto-filled to a real word.
This is what we're doing to the Pokemon in the new gen, according to Bob. Exciting one's senses or desires, tormenting and teasing with the sight of promise of something unattainable.
This game sounds sick.
I can't wait to tantalize my Pokemon.
I hope you could do it with the touchscreen.
Oh God, you could. In what game was it? Was it the last one? I think you could
you could do it.
You could like stroke Machamp in all the right places.
I do all the time.
God, that's hilarious.
That's it. That's a cool poster.
It is it. I love this though, the flying Pikachu, because that's a thing. I don't know the lore on this, but a couple Pokemon card sets ago, you could get flying Pikachu as a card, and it's Pikachu with the balloons. I'm not sure where this started. If it was like in there.
It's a Pokemon Yellow thing. It was in the intro cinematic, I believe, and it might be because Pikachu could be your HM slave in that game. Because he could also surf and do stuff.
This was the origin of the legendary flying Pikachu. I don't want to read this whole thing. It appeared in the Pokemon Yellow intro. Yeah, you're right. So it's a throwback to that. When you crystallize him, he turns into a flying type, and the flying type is him with a bunch of balloons, which is a throwback to, Pokemon Yellow, which I think is really, I love stuff like that. Like, it's silly, it's wacky. If you don't know the history, it's like, why has he got a bunch of balloons now? But I love the throwback there. I think it's really cute. Also, by the way, if ever Pokemon figures would be more like awesome, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Can you imagine a set of these crystal Pokemon as figures? Like maybe like this big, made from I mean, what is that stuff?
Like
quartz?
Swarovski? You want to know a Swarovski
yeah,
Pikachu?
Dude. Imagine if they did a collaboration with like Swarovski or whatever, if that's a brand or whatever, and you had like these 5 or 6 crystallized Pokemon figures. They would look so friggin' cool. It already looks like that's what it is.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. It would also be very expensive. I bet that they're gonna have some sort of collaboration with that. They do so much fucking merch.
That crystallized stuff, yeah, it'll be expensive, of course. It's Pokemon and it's exclusive, but that actual stuff isn't too expensive. You get like they make so many of those little figures, and they're not like that much. It's just because it's Pokemon that it'll be like $100 or something. It's not like a diamond. It's not like a real thing. It's like,
right,
it's like fake.
But like I'm thinking of the Swarovski ones. Like they made Halo Swarovski stuff.
How do you spell that?
Hundreds of dollars. You expect me to know?
The man who spelled tantalizing.
Yeah.
Schwartzky?
I'm also trying over here to search and make sure I'm not wrong about Pikachu being able to learn the HM.
This is a great example. On the Schwartzky website itself, you can get a Mandalorian, the child, the little like baby Yoda. He is 3 inches tall. He's $165. Okay. So yes, it is expensive, but that's what I'm saying. It's not like diamonds. It's not like in the thousands. So assuming it's going to be a similar price, $150, $60 each for like a little Pikachu or something. Look, I know how this might sound, but I would buy that. I think that would be a really nice little collectible figure. I mean, even just looking at this Yoda one that I'm recording, it's on the screen. You can't see it, but that's cute. I mean, I want that as a Pikachu thing. But yeah, that's what these new Pokemon tantalizing evolutions remind me of.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna get some cool merch out of this. Friggin', that's the whole reason that these games exist is to make cool merch out of it.
I think it's a missed opportunity if they don't make those. But that's the presents. I
want to clarify before Will tries to correct me on the next Wolf Den podcast. Pikachu cannot learn surf and fly. There are mini games where he does that stuff.
I didn't recall, but I didn't want to be the guy.
Mm-hmm. And why do they freaking let him do all of the HMs in the opening cutscene?
Yeah, it's really Pokemon's fault. You were wrong.
Yeah.
I liked the presents. I mean, it's a Pokemon Presents. I mean, if you go into this expecting anything than information on Pokemon, you're insane. Like, that's literally what it's for. It's just to update people on what's happening. And I think for everything they talked about, there was a reason to talk about it. I mean, other than Pokemon Cafe Mix, which I couldn't care less about. But like Pokemon Unite had a ton of cool stuff being added. Talking about the in-person events was cool. And then obviously a ton of information on this game.
I think there's just a drip feed of information about the latest mainline Pokemon game. They always do this. They'll drop a trailer, and the trailer was very short, and then they did an analysis afterwards, which made it a little bit longer. But they're still leaving things a little open ended. There's still a lot of questions, and they're really good at keeping it a secret until right before the game pops out. So.
And I think that's fair, because if they blew their whole load now in the beginning of August when the game's not out for months, I mean, that's not a good marketing strategy of keeping the game, hyped up. I mean, you have to leave some questions so that you can answer them again a month before release.
Right.
So
and, I mean,
I think
I'm gonna get listen, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan anymore, but I'm gonna get it. And I'm gonna give it a chance, and we'll see how I feel about it.
I will say that I have been very burnt out on Pokemon games for a long time. I hated Sword and Shield initially because it was like, oh, this again. But when I finally got through the story and started just collecting Pokemon, exploring the world, going for shinies, going for high IVs, that's when I really started having fun, spending hours in the wild area. That I got a lot of enjoyment out of the game at that point. And then Arceus obviously was like a reawakening for me, being a part of the Pokemon fandom. But this I'm excited for this off the rip. Like, I can tell there is going to be so much new. I'm very excited. And even if it feels a little samey, I'm just willing to give Game Freak a little bit more benefit of the doubt this time around, because I can see that they have legitimately tried to shake up their core formula, even if it's not as much as it should be by now. it's leaps and bounds above of everything that we've ever been given past Red and Blue.
I am willing to give Game Freak a little bit of a kudos for trying to shake up the formula a little bit, but it's not enough. Do some big changes. It's been forever.
that was Arceus was a huge change. It was literally Arceus.
Arceus, I was very happy with a lot of the changes in Arceus, but I still didn't think it was enough. I still think you could streamline a lot of shit, a lot of bullshit in that game.
I feel like you're being a bit nitpicky.
Like if this game had the battling from Arceus, I would shut the fuck up.
I agree that would be way better. I agree. But I'm still very excited. And I think I played Arceus like 100 hours, and like a lot of that was on stream. So definitely this is going to be a stream game for me on Twitch. And when I get to hunting the shinies, shunting the heinies, which sounds very wrong. I'm sure that'll be really fun for everyone. But that's it.
You know, Nintendo released financial reports.
No, not right
Guess
now.
we're not talking about that.
We're an hour and 12 minutes in. You want to bring that up now?
Nope, I don't. They sold a lot of Switches. That's really all they had to say.
You want to do it in the bonus? We're going to do a bonus right now.
I mean, I'll touch on it for a second, but it's really nothing crazy.
Let's talk about it in the
bonus.
bonus.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold a lot more games.
Let's talk about it in the bonus.
Okay, sure.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching this impromptu episode. We have a lot of fun doing these when we can actually be topical. We try to be. Though obviously now the episodes we shot are going to be a little less relevant when they come out, especially anything we mentioned in regards to Pokemon. But we hope you enjoyed them anyway because they were a ton of fun. And yeah.
And we have a whole bonus episode
subscribe,
about
review
our guesses for what the Pokemon multiplayer is going to be like. And I guess it's still relevant because we still don't really know.
Actually, yes, it's still pretty. Everything now that where we landed here is still pretty relevant. And anything that wouldn't be, which I don't think is much, it'd be interesting to see how much we got right or wrong going back and
maybe we should put
watching
a bump before it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We're talking too much.